Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about where precious metals come in to your preparedness plan. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I wanted to do a video on some other sides of prepping, and one of it is a financial aspect of it. Now, understand first of all, this is going to be a video where you're going to see my hands a lot, silver a lot. I'm not really demoing anything here. I'm just kind of showing you some of what I have, and I'll explain to you the different types of it, and why I store silver with disasters, emergencies, and stock market crashes and such in mind. Having a supply of precious metals can protect your wealth, and that's what this is about. It's not about making money. It's not even as much about barter as it is about protecting your wealth. If all your money is in the stock market and the banks crash one day, or the market crashes one day, you've lost all that. If you have tangible pieces of metal that are worth something, you haven't. It's not really a way to get rich quick at all. Believe me, this is not why I buy it for. I picked up a lot of my silver years ago. As a matter of fact, funny story, I remember this was in 1999, and we were all kind of concerned about Y2K. And I went into a coin store and I asked him, do you have any silver to sell? And he's like, I'll give you this whole bank bag for $90. Silver was about $5 an ounce. And he had one of these big old, bank bags that you always see in the cartoons, the bank robbers running away from the bank with. And it was filled with silver rounds. Mostly just rounds like this. Just basic 1 ounce silver rounds. Some of them were commemorative, some of them were no big deal. Basically what I did was I took the ones that were worth some money, put them up on eBay, sold them, bought more plain silver, just regular rounds. And I couldn't believe he sold me all this silver so cheap. He wanted to get rid of it. He had no use for it back then. At $5 an ounce, it wasn't a big deal. He wasn't thinking in a prepper mindset. So, that's where I started investing, okay? Now about silver, it is not your first prep to buy. You're not going to run out to the coin store today if you have absolutely no food and water and start buying silver. You want to make sure that all your other stuff is in place and you have a good base. Like we say, we're never done prepping, but you have a good base of food, water, protection, shelter, whatever, bug out bags before you start looking at silver at all. This is what I like to refer to as a last prep. Okay? And I would say even comes after you have some cash put away. Because let's face it, in short-term emergencies, and yes, this is how I store $100 in ones. In short-term emergencies, cash is king. A power outage. We lost power here many times. Banks don't use the ATMs don't work. People can't use their ATM cards in the stores. Cash is king. So this is definitely a last place prep. Okay? Now, prepping pretty much is all about investment. You're investing your time and your energy and your space in your house into things that in advance of some possible disaster. And as I like to say, this really isn't an investment, but prepping in general is an investment. If you have a market crash, okay, and the markets tank, you have physical silver. You have something that's actually worth something. People look at this and go, oh, that's worth about blah, 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 whatever the price is. Now, when I tell people to buy silver, I usually let them know I want them to buy actual silver, stuff that you can hold in your hand, all right? Not investment, exchange-traded funds, SLVR and GLD, silver and gold. They're exchange-traded funds. They go down when the market goes down. They can go to zero, Silver will always be worth something. Now, people will say you can't eat silver, okay? And I understand that, and I'm not really looking to turn this into food. I'm looking at this as a hedge against inflation, a protection against inflation or a market crash or some kind of huge worldwide disaster where this becomes worth a lot more and protects my income and protects my money and possibly might allow me to barter. Back in the 2000s, I believe in Argentina, when they were having their first financial crisis, they had supermarkets set up where you could go in and you could exchange this for cash or barter for groceries. So it has a point. You know, there is some barter possibilities in it. Would I set up shop outside of my house and set up, you know, the Iridium 242 coin shop after a disaster? Heck no. You know? If you hold currency, okay? Now I said to store a cash, and cash is very smart. You should store a good amount of cash in your house for emergencies. And that's where you get back to this stuff. You should store some cash in your house for short-term disasters. Earthquakes, floods, fires, whatever. You know, I have this all in a bank bag, my cash stash. And I have a bank bag with precious metals, bank bag with money. I can grab both, toss them in my bug out bag, and be out of my house in seconds. Okay? Because my bug out bag is actually stored on top of where my safe is, where I keep monetary stuff. So it's pretty simple to take with you. It's portable. But we're talking about inflation, and people laugh, and I tell them, don't rely on all currency. Don't put your hope in, you know, don't be one of those people with $10,000 in cash in your house, and your house burns down, or your cash becomes worthless, and people say the American dollar, no monetary resource could ever become worthless. Well, here's proof that it could. These are, as you see there, that's a banknote from Zimbabwe. I believe these are actually out of commission now. They don't even use these anymore. This is $100 trillion, and you'd need stacks of this just to get a loaf of bread in Zimbabwe. And this is a $500 million note. So no, I'm not a billionaire. This is just a good example. I mean, I bought these for fun, but this is a good example of how currency can become worthless. But they keep printing money, this is what you're going to end up with. Whereas this is always going to have a steady value. It may go up, it may go down, but not as wild as money, you know, currency backed by governments with really no financial backing behind it. So I'm going to explain to you quickly about how you go about investing in silver. I do have a little bit of gold out here. This is a 1/10 gold coin. I don't go as heavily into gold as silver because I believe silver has a lower price point. So people on a fixed income can buy in. You know, it's cheaper. And it has less wild swings. You know, silver doesn't go up and down as high. And it's undervalued, I feel. I feel it should be worth a lot more than it is. Also, too, with silver now, silver is starting to be used in a lot of our electronics. All of your little cell phone switches on the back where you turn the phone on and off, iPads, all that, they're all using up silver, and silver is a finite resource. So it's worth a little bit more. The other bit of gold out here, this is kind of a cool feature here in the video. If you've ever seen these boxes, you know what they are. In the, the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, we're about 60 miles outside of Vegas, they have a gold ATM where you walk up, you put your cash in, and you get gold. This is something I bought just because I thought it was really cool to be buying gold from a gold ATM. It's probably not worth all that much, and the spot price killed me on it, I'm sure. It's a 1 gram gold bar. Kind of cool, you know, kind of corny and cheesy, but because it was a gold ATM, I had to get one. Anyway, that's my talk on gold. If you have the money to invest in it, by all means do. But for everyday average people, silver is your best bet, and you can accumulate a good amount of it if you're steady with your money, and you know, every month, excuse the camera there, every pay period or every couple of weeks, you buy a couple pieces. I mean, think about it. What's silver now? Around $17 an ounce? I go up the street with two $20 bills. Chances are I'm coming home with 2 rounds of silver. Now, there's different ways to buy it. I'm going to show you the different ways I buy it. I buy it in rounds, and you want to make sure you're buying from a reputable coin dealer. Please don't buy off eBay. Not that everybody on eBay isn't reputable, but there is a lot of BS and garbage on eBay. There's a lot of fake coins, even American silver coins the Chinese have faked. So know your dealer. Plus, I'm also of the belief that you really should be personal about what you're buying. I don't want, you know, a huge paper trail of what I'm buying when it comes to gold and silver. It's my personal financial business. So I like to buy from local coin dealers. So yeah, these are just basic silver rounds. Most of you have seen this. This is a buffalo round. This is a eagle. This is actually United States currency. This is a $1, you know, coin. It's worth a bit more than that. But they're 1 ounce silver rounds. Now you'll notice I have some bars here. I love bars. That's just a personal thing for me. I like silver bars. I don't know what it is about them. They just look cool. You can buy from AppNext. You can buy the packs of these. I actually bought this, if you folks are familiar with, any people that watch me from Vegas and go to the Vegas gun shows, you will know a gentleman called the Duke of Fremont. Dresses up like a 40s gangster, drives an old 40s car, sells gold and silver. I buy from him. He's reliable. He's reputable. I have never gotten ripped off from him. I've never bought junk from him. So those of you in the Vegas area, if you go to the gun shows, you know who to buy from. He has a Tommy gun too at his booth, so you'll always know that's him. And that's where I buy my silver, along with, coin shops and dealers in town. Face-to-face cash, good to go, So that's where I got these. And I like bars, but really there's no difference between bars and rounds. Whatever you feel happy with. You'll pay a little more of a premium for these Liberty dollars, because they're actually currency. They're actually United States currency. You might pay, well, if you're paying $1 over spot for a regular bar, you might pay $2 over for that. That's just an example. I buy it. I really don't pay attention to the price too much because I'm not buying it to get rich. Okay. You can also buy it in 10-ounce bars. This is a nice big 10-ounce bar. We bought this actually at a California gun show years ago when I think we paid $40 for it. It's worth a lot more now. It was back when silver was a lot cheaper. And I actually will wrap that up because I want to get my fingerprints all over it. Then the last form of silver I'm going to talk about is junk silver. Prior to 1964, all our coins were 90% silver. Well, not the nickels, but most of our coins were 90% silver. So if you look around, you can see there's some Mercury dimes here. There's a, what date is that? 1964 dime. And it sounds different if you hear it. If you hear it clinking around with other change, you'll know you have some silver in there. Now, why do I call it junk silver? Well, because it has no collector value, okay? This stuff isn't about collecting. This is about storing it for its silver content. So it is worth, let's say an average quarter, okay? At one point, you take this, let's say you spend it in the store for a quarter, but you don't realize it's worth, I think if I break it down now, about $4.50, maybe $5 in silver value. So it always kills me when I see people raiding their old change stash and they drop a couple of these in, and you can hear it drop into the register. It has that distinctive sound to it. And it's like, oh man, can I buy that from you? Here's a regular quarter. So, junk silver, after 65, most of our coins went to some kind of composite metal that isn't silver anymore. All right, next thing I'm going to talk about is collectible coins, okay? Dealers will upsell you, especially on gold, pre-1993, 1933 collectibles, all right? And that's from years ago, along the lines when there was an executive order, I think it was 6102, forbidding the hoarding and holding of any gold. Basically what happened was they needed gold for the war effort and everything else, and they took the gold from the people and gave you $20, which is about what it was worth back then, per ounce of gold. You were allowed some jewelry, you were allowed collectible coins. So, when you walk into a coin store, and you try to buy a gold coin, like this one here, and even with my glasses I can't see, I think it's a 2009. All right, they're going to steer you away from this because they want to make more money. And they're going to say, well, if there's ever gold confiscation again, that could get confiscated. You want a pre-1933 coin. The reason for that is any coin before 1933 was considered a collectible and you were allowed to keep within a certain amount, okay? So that's the deal with, my general opinion is buy stuff that's regular, everyday, bullion value. And that is why I don't have any collectible silver coins. Yeah, they're out there. You can get the Walking Liberty, the Liberty dollars, You can get these things for, PCGS graded, mint, strike, they're worth $40, $50. I don't want that. I want the silver value in it. I'm not too concerned about how much it's going to worth. Because let's think about it. I walk up to you with two of these. You have some food I want. And I give you two of these, okay? And you give me the food. Are you going to care if it's been a first strike or if it's graded super high or if it's, some kind of mint condition coin? No, you want the silver value. That's why I buy that. So for some people, because of that, having some junk silver makes sense, and it's cheap. I mean, you can buy this a lot cheaper than you can buy this stuff. So for some people, junk silver does make sense. Okay? So I believe it was in 1974 people were allowed to own gold again. So that's why they will try to upsell you on collectible coins, especially if they think you're a prepper. They'll try to upsell you on collectible coins, telling you they can't be confiscated. Well, let's put it like this. If there's another ban on holding gold and silver, okay, do you think they're going to go back to the 1933 regulations? No, they're not, you know. The chances of them going back and say, well, you know, Franklin Delano Roosevelt said that anything held before 1933 was collectible, so let's do that again. Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to ever see gold and silver confiscated again. You might, but you might not. There's a pretty good chance you won't. So, I'm not a financial advisor. I think having some precious metals, you don't have to go overboard with it. And remember, like I said, this is a last prep. You want to get all your other stuff taken care of first. But I think having some precious metals for disasters, emergencies, whatever, you know, some kind of bank crash, anything, makes sense, you know. You're not looking to get rich off it. You're not looking, essentially, you're really not even looking to barter with them. You're looking to protect your wealth with them. You're looking to protect, you know, maybe you have 10% of your money in gold and silver, in precious metals. And I tell people two things. Buy them, hold it where you can actually buy it, and hold it physical in your hand. Don't buy investment funds or retirement funds or anything like that. You want to actually be able to hold the stuff in your hand. And whatever you do, store it within your reach. As a matter of fact, some banks won't even allow you to put this in a safe deposit box. Safe deposit boxes can be closed up pretty quick in a bank holiday. Anyway, that's the video for today. Again, I'm no expert on this stuff. I just store a little bit because, I'll be honest, I saw a lot of people doing it in the beginning when I first started prepping, and it made sense. And I wish there would have been somebody to explain to me the differences between junk silver and silver rounds and gold and, you know, currency devaluation like this. And when I first started, I just was following along. Okay, everybody's doing that. I'm going to do it too, you know? So just remember, there's plenty of places willing to sell you it. And after a disaster, there could be a lot of places that you could barter it for. There may not be. People may not care. They may want a can of food over this stuff. Because let's face it, this isn't going to feed anybody. But with this stuff, you may be able to procure a can of food, some water, whatever. And again, this is all up in the air. We prepare at a bunch of different levels because we don't know what's going to happen, you know. And that's why I tell people, don't buy silver thinking, I could definitely barter with this. You don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts down below. And don't forget to shop via our Amazon link. It helps us bring more cool gear to the channel for you. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link. There's lots of good stuff in there. It's a very simple way to get started prepping. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.